In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to knit conventionally with the chick sticks and actually be able to do it with the pom pom yarn. And you will see patterns like this. This is a Bernat pattern, and you will see stuff like this and like you're thinking, how in the world are these all lining up with each other so fabulously? And actually I want to show you how to do that. And in this tutorial I'm going to assume that you know how to knit, and I'm just going to give you a few pointers. In this tutorial too, I'm going to show you how to knit with the pom pom before I explain how to cast on. The first thing that you will notice is that the stitches look like they're being grouped in two, just like so. This is done naturally, so it's happening on its own. And so let me get you started on doing it. So I'm just going to move it closer to the end because that's what I want to do. And I want to slip in my knitting needle in behind. And what we want to do is, this is the material that is coming from the actual yarn ball. And there are going to be 2 stitches in between this pom-pom and the next one. 2 stitches in here and so on. So when I go to wrap around, and you will notice at the end that this one right here is right at the actual stitch, so there's nothing we can do about it. So when we go to wrap around, we're actually going to wrap just the string part. We're going to knit as normal. We're going to go into the next one, okay, and this is the remainder of that same section. So we're going to wrap and knit. So you will notice that this pom-pom is now next to the actual knot, and so we're just going to move up everything, and let's go to the next one. So you can't do anything with that, so we're just going to move to the next section here. Okay, and knit. Going into the next section, this is the remainder. So I have a little memory hook for you if you want to pick this up. This is called 1, so this is the starting. You can see that this is up next to the knot, so you really can't do anything with it. So this is 1, and the next one is the second half, and this is 2. Okay, going to the next one. The pom-pom is here. This is where we're going to wrap, so we're going to go 1 and 2. 1. Oops. Excuse me. So we're going to go 1 and 2. So we're now at the end, and all we're just going to do is just do, you can spread it back out. You will see that the groups of 2 just exist on their own. We're going to rotate everything in our hands and begin again. So you'll see that all the pom-poms we just did are lining up to each other. So let me explain a little more to you. Here we're just going to slip in behind, and we're going to start off, and so this is next to the knot, so nothing's going to happen with it. So it's 1 and 2. So essentially the gapping area here, you will see that in groups of 2, the pom-pom is actually sitting in between these gaps. So essentially what I'm doing now is that where you see the knot here, I'm going to be fastening on the other side, so it's actually going to be the distance that is in between the long one. See? And that's really kind of useless information, but I like to understand how the pom-poms are actually lining up to each other. So how you cast on while I'm talking to you, the easiest way to cast on with this is to use a yarn that is normally what you are used to, and you use it in the same color coordination. So if I were to use a yarn, I would use like a dark blue probably for this. And let me just finish the line off and I'll show you exactly. It's one of those projects I like to make sure that I do finish a line. It's not like crochet, I can leave it down and pick it back up. So what you want to just do is that everything has to be grouped in 2. So no matter what you just did, for example, this is 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So if I wanted it bigger, then I would go 12 stitches. If I wanted it smaller, I could go 8, but keep it in groups of 2. In the bottom here, this is my seam, but I should have actually chosen the same color, and I did that on purpose. And what you want to do is when you cast on, you want to cast on with a secondary yarn first that is the same color coordination. It's almost like your seam line. It is so much easier. This stuff is really difficult to cast on with. So if you use a secondary color that matches what you're looking for, you can actually do a better job of that. So cast on, and then when you start your second line, you're just going to want to start your pom-pom at that particular point and just start it in groups of 2 like I just showed before.